Welcome to pile number 1. You are an Elliot. The Four of Cups shows a figure sitting quietly beneath a tree, turned inward, contemplative, while the world moves around them making offers they seem barely to notice. And there is no character in the entire Austen universe who inhabits that image more completely, more poignantly, or more beautifully than an Elliot. Persuasion's quiet, overlooked heroine sits at the center of her own story in a way that most of the people around her entirely fail to register. And if this card has found you today, there is a profound and rather wonderful recognition in that. You are the person in the room that the room has not yet learned to properly see. That is their limitation, not yours. And Elliot is perhaps the most emotionally intelligent character Austen ever created. She feels everything with a depth and a precision that her louder, more socially conspicuous family members never approach. And she feels it largely in silence, largely alone, largely without the validation or the witness that her inner life genuinely deserves. Sound familiar? The Four of Cups person moves through the world with a rich, complex, beautifully furnished interior landscape that most casual observers never glimpse because the exterior presentation is so quietly self-contained. You do not perform your feelings. You live them privately, and that privacy is both your protection and, occasionally, your loneliness. What makes an Elliot extraordinary, and what makes you extraordinary, is the quality of constancy that runs through everything. She loved once, deeply and truly, and that love did not diminish or curdle into bitterness despite 8 years of loss and regret and the daily sight of what she had given up. That is not weakness or passivity. That is a depth of character so rare it takes a Wentworth, someone finally paying close enough attention to truly comprehend its worth. The Four of Cups also carries the specific message of the overlooked opportunity, the cup being offered from an unseen hand that the withdrawn figure has not yet noticed. Your and Elliot lesson is the same one she eventually learned. Look up occasionally from your inner world. The letter is being written. The feeling is mutual. The cup being extended in your direction right now may be more significant than you have allowed yourself to believe. Welcome to pile number 2. You are Marianne Dashwood. The Ace of Cups arrives in a blaze of pure, unmediated emotional intensity, a cup overflowing, feeling in its most concentrated and undiluted form, the heart flung open to the world with a generosity and a passion that takes absolutely no precautions and makes absolutely no apologies. And if that description made something in you simultaneously thrill and wince with recognition, then you already know exactly which Austen heroine has claimed you. Marianne Dashwood. The one who feels everything at full volume. The one for whom a gray sky is genuinely cause for melancholy and a beautiful piece of music is legitimately cause for tears. The one whose emotional life is so vivid and so present that the more restrained people around her find her alternately inspiring and exhausting. You know the type. You are the type. Marianne's gift, and yours, is an authenticity so complete it borders on radical. In a world that rewards emotional management and social performance, you have never been particularly interested in either. What you feel is what you show, and what you show is what you feel. And the idea of calibrating your responses to make other people more comfortable has always struck you as a kind of fundamental dishonesty that your soul simply refuses to participate in. There is enormous beauty in that. There is also, as Marianne discovers through the most painful possible experience, a certain vulnerability that comes with leaving the heart so thoroughly unguarded. The Ace of Cups overflows most freely, but it is also the cup most easily spilled. The growth that Marianne's arc offers, and that the Ace of Cups is always quietly pointing toward, is not the dimming of the feeling but the deepening of it. The journey from the intensity that burns fast and requires constant feeding to the steadier, more grounded passion that can sustain itself through ordinary time and ordinary disappointment and still be there. Still be warm, still be genuine on the other side. Colonel Brandon is not the compromise Marianne once feared he was. He is the love that her emotional depth had finally, at great cost, become ready to fully appreciate. Your Ace of Cups is full to overflowing today. The invitation is to trust that the right vessel, for your feeling, for your love, for your extraordinary capacity for passion, is worth waiting for. Feel everything, always. Just perhaps occasionally, let the cup fill before you empty it entirely. Welcome to pile number 3. You are Elizabeth Bennet. Did anyone who has ever spent 5 minutes in your company need a tarot card to tell them this? Probably not, but here it is anyway, confirmed in the most fitting card possible. The Eight of Wands is all kinetic energy, all swift movement and sharp trajectory, and the particular electricity of a mind that processes the world faster than most people can follow, and there is simply no one in all of Austen, arguably no one in all of English literature, who embodies that energy more completely than Elizabeth Bennet. Quick, bright, irreverent, absolutely impossible to deceive for long, and possessed of a wit so precisely calibrated that it can land with devastating accuracy while somehow still making you want to be in the room when it fires. You know exactly who you are, and so does everyone else, whether they like it or not. What the Eight of Wands captures about Elizabeth, and about you, is the speed of it all. The speed of thought first and foremost, that ability to read a situation, a person, a dynamic with a swiftness that feels almost involuntary, like the mind simply cannot help but see what it sees and draw the conclusions it draws. The speed of feeling too, that capacity to shift from amusement to indignation to genuine vulnerability in the space of a single conversation without any of those states feeling performed or incongruent. And the speed of movement, through rooms, through social hierarchies, through the carefully maintained pretensions of people who mistake propriety for substance and find, to their considerable discomfort, that Elizabeth Bennet is not similarly confused. The shadow in the Eight of Wands, and in Elizabeth, and perhaps in you, is the speed of judgment. Those wands fly with magnificent precision, but they are committed to their trajectory before they land, and the very quickness that makes you so alive and so perceptive can occasionally outrun the full information. Elizabeth's great arc is not the falling in love with Darcy. It is the mortifying, humbling, genuinely character-expanding moment of realizing she was wrong. That her first impression, however brilliantly constructed and confidently held, was built on incomplete evidence filtered through a bias she had not acknowledged in herself. The Eight of Wands' invitation is always this: keep the speed, keep the wit, keep every glorious crackling volt of that extraordinary energy. Just leave the occasional fraction of a second for the possibility that the full picture has not yet arrived. Darcy, after all, turned out to be rather worth the second look.